Hi YouTube, this is Eric, and you know what, thanks for watching this video. It is what happens when you take this, which is Xanax, with this, which is Adderall. What happens when you combine both of them? I am ADHD and I am prescribed actually both, one for anxiety, one for ADHD, and this is what happens if you actually combine the drugs. And yes, I am also a recovering alcoholic. So if you haven't clicked the like and subscribe button yet, click the like and subscribe button, subscribe to our channel. I appreciate everybody who has so far. Thank you so much. Hi YouTube, this is Eric, and thanks for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click the like and subscribe button down there. And this video is on what happens when you mix Adderall, which is this right here. This is 20 milligrams of Adderall and a bar of Xanax right here. What happens when you mix these? And yes, as a big disclaimer, I am a recovering addict. Wait a minute, as an addict, you're not supposed to take any of these, am I right? Well, the answer is yes, in a sense. Depending on what kind of fellowship you're in, if it's AA or NA, a lot of different groups look down upon, if you're trying to get sober, to not take any kind of drugs that are mind altering. My addiction was alcohol and cocaine. I didn't like cocaine, but how it smelled was very, very attractive to me. And it also helped self-medicate me when I had drank too much and I was about ready to pass out. So now that I have been sober over a year right now, I'm almost 18 months. I'm prescribed two different drugs that are so looked down upon, and that happens to be both of these. And also, what happens when you mix these together? Because it does come a little bit of a cocktail, and you're not supposed to mix drugs without the recommendation of a doctor, especially when it comes to Adderall, because Adderall affects differently with multiple different drugs out there. What happens when you mix these? Let me tell you, because I have done it before, and why not to get high? You just contradicted yourself. What do you mean not to get high? Oh, wait, that's right. If I didn't take Adderall and I didn't take Xanax for my panic attacks and the days that the anxiety is really high, I self-medicated with alcohol. Makes sense. But here's why actually I would take both of them and mix them. And it's not done on a normal daily basis at all. So let me first explain to you. Adderall, lifesaver. Being ADHD, Adderall is a stimulant. Being ADHD, I am all over the board when it comes to my thoughts. It's hard for me to focus in. It's hard for me to be productive. I get very big anxiety because I know I'm not being productive. And life becomes a very big challenge and struggle to me. If I was to take a test, I can't focus in. And I'm all over the board. Like my dog walking behind me would totally, fully distract me from this, and I would want to go play with him all of a sudden. That's what it's like being ADHD. It's like flipping through the channels just nonstop. Adderall, being a stimulant of what it is, it does actually counteract that, and it allows me to put together a to-do list. It allows me to be productive. It allows me to focus in, and it has that opposite effect on me. And I'm very, very grateful for Adderall, and it is prescribed to me. I take 20 milligrams. I take 10 milligrams in the morning, and I take 10 milligrams in the afternoon. So Adderall to me has definitely changed my life. I've been on it for 20 years, and it has helped me in so many different ways, and I've tried it without being on Adderall, and I've watched the production in my life just disappear. So Adderall is a stimulant, though, because it acts a lot like cocaine, and even though it is a prescribed drug, it does increase your heartbeat, it does increase your blood pressure, it can cause nausea, it can cause anxiety, it can cause depression, addictive personality to it because of the dopamine firing off in your brain when you do take it. So there are a lot of different negative side effects to Adderall and any ADHD medicine. That's why if you're not ADHD and you take something like this, it affects you completely different. The other drug that I'm prescribed is this right here, which is Xanax. This is a bar of Xanax. And Xanax is designed to help with anxiety. It's a anti-stimulant. It's almost, in a sense, a depressant in a way that it's to calm your heartbeat. It's to calm the anxiety. It's not designed to help you sleep, but it does put you in a sedated state. If I was to take a bar of Xanax, I'd be done for the day. Done. I mean, sleeping, drooling on myself, done. Xanax, though, it has a lot of good characteristics, and it has a lot of good properties to it. A lot of people use it, especially for anxiety. If you've never had an anxiety attack before, it is unreal. It's having a heart attack in a sense. It feels like the world is collapsing on you. You can't breathe. You're gasping for air. You start to hyperventilate. You want to dial 911 because you think you're dying. You think you're having a heart attack. And if you've had one before, you can relate to this. It's just the pain and just, oh. If you never had one before, I hope that you never have one. And Xanax has been something that is a good tool, if it's used right and properly, that can help with anxiety, can help with social anxiety. And it is commonly prescribed by doctors. Pros and cons, though, to both of them. Both can be highly addictive. So, being a recovering addict, it's one of those things that I am very open about, that I do take different medications for different mental illness reasons. Because part of the reason I was an addict was to cover over my mental illnesses and to try to self medicate through them instead of actually getting a lot of help and doing it the correct way. So, what ends up happening when you mix these two? I'm sure you want to know. You mix both of these and you go insane. No, you actually don't. They actually counterbalance each other. The biggest thing of taking both of them together is both of them are highly addictive. One's a benzo, one's a stimulant. They are highly addictive drugs, and they are prescribed. They are supposed to be monitored by a doctor, and unfortunately, a lot of these drugs are extremely abused. Yes, I've been offered money for the Xanax. I've been offered money for the Adderall. I know people who use them on a daily basis in an abusive form. But that is one of the biggest things that happens if you're mixing these two, is that, one, you have to be very conscious that they are highly addictive drugs. Secondly, they counteract each other, so it's not like your brain blows up or anything. What happens is, you have to remember, Adderall is a stimulant, and so it increases all of that. Now, they say that with Adderall it increases anxiety. With me, it doesn't. In fact, it decreases my anxiety because I know that I'm being productive. I know I'm getting a lot of things done. The Xanax, though, what that ends up doing is it slows your heartbeat, and it slows you down, and it counteracts the anxiety. What I have found is when I mix both of these, though, it does help me. And here's how, and here's why. Here's why it helps me is I get anxiety from a lot of different things, and it becomes very overwhelming. Even with my Adderalls, I try to push through it, and I will end up collapsing in my brain, and my focus will shift. If I take a quarter of a bar of Xanax, that will actually kind of counterbalance it, and it gives me more of a relaxed feeling where I don't feel the pressures of the world mix on me, but I still have the focus that I need. This is what happens when I mix both of them, and I don't do it very often. I only do it when I feel that panic is starting to come on and I feel very overwhelmed. The counterbalancing of it is, with Adderall, I'm still very calm, and yeah, it's increased my heartbeat, but I'm now focused in. I take the Xanax with it, and instead of still feeling the pressures and I'm doing this massive to-do list and I'm overwhelmed with everything that I have to accomplish, it relaxes me to the point that it's okay and I can do it. So it's not like I'm taking any of this and get this massive high or anything from it. It's actually, it prevents any kind of panic attack happening with me, and I don't take them necessarily together. I'll take them about 30 minutes apart. But I don't get a massive anxiety attack that hits. I don't not take the Adderall and all of a sudden have a non-productive day. Mixing them both, they do counterbalance each other a little bit, so the effects are a little bit lessened because, again, one's being an upper and one's being a downer. You're mixing them both. If you don't need these drugs, though, or use these drugs for any kind of reason other than the high, though, it's going to give you those mixed feelings, and it's going to give you those mixed results, and it's going to give you that mixed thought process. And that's where that addiction part really kicks in. And so you have to be careful when using these drugs, and that's why they are prescribed. And if you don't need it, go to the doctor, get help, let them prescribe you the correct medication maybe that you need, or get into a program where sobriety is extremely important, get sober. But mixing these two drugs, in my experience, has helped me because I don't have an anxiety attack even when I'm still on the Adderall, just because I feel extremely overwhelmed. And it's not like I didn't take the Adderall, I just took the Xanax and I'm just sitting there drooling. Xanax, if I've forgotten that I've taken it and I take another dose of it, it really puts me back a lot for the day. That's why I do a little checkbox to make sure of when I'm taking my medication so I'm not taking it incorrectly. And I do communicate with my doctor very much of what's happening when I take both these medications, or what's happening, just on a daily basis of taking the Adderall, just so that it's monitored to make sure that it's correct. Everybody in sobriety, they look at it a little bit differently because you shouldn't be taking both of these, they say. And I understand, I get it, I do. So deal with it. And that's what my thought process is on it. I was never addicted to popping pills. I was addicted to drinking at 7 a.m. and not stopping until I passed out at night all day long, every day. Pill popping was never an issue of me. So if you are addicted to, pills, this is something that can provide a very unhealthy, unbalanced, and very damaging cocktail. So don't take these if you don't need them, is the biggest message I can say. But what happens when you mix them and you need them? I will tell you this: you are able to push through the day. They do balance themselves out. They do counteract each other a little bit, but you know what? I don't have the anxiety. I don't have the panic. I don't have the overwhelming feeling, and I'm still focused. I'm still productive, and I get my job and my day done. So that's what happens when you take both of them. I hope you got something out of it. I know that maybe you were watching this video and hoping to watch somebody's brain explode, and it didn't. And that's not really what happens when you take pills. And if I was to shoot a video of me taking both of these, it's really not that exciting because I'd be working. And so I wanted to do something where I could just share the experience with you. So if you haven't clicked the like and subscribe button yet, please do. Comment below. Tell me what your thoughts are on this, because these are two drugs that are heavily abused. These are two drugs with very negative stereotypes around them. But then if you do use them for medical reasons and they're prescribed to you, it's one of those things that they have been lifesavers for other people. So please comment below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this. If you haven't clicked the like and subscribe button, please do. It means the world to me, and I really appreciate everybody who's joined my channel and subscribed to me. I can't thank you enough. And you know what? No matter what it is that you're going through, there is support out there for you. There is a community out there for you that will embrace you. You are important. You're special. And believe me, you're not alone in the struggles of life. So thanks for watching this, and I appreciate you.